Hey everybody, this is Danelle. Hope this finds you doing well. There have been plenty of news stories over this past week, the biggest being that the Federal Reserve has chosen to raise the interest rate once again, another 25 basis points, as you can see here on March, it should say 22nd of 2023. The federal fund rate has now been raised from 4.75% to 5%. So as we've talked about in previous videos, this affects the entire economy as well as most markets, including the traditional equities market as well as NFTs and cryptocurrencies. So we saw a bit of a dip soon after the announcement that was made on March 22nd. So we'll continue to obviously keep you posted on what's happening, particularly in the crypto and NFT space as we start to move forward. Because from what Jerome Powell, who's the chairman of the Federal Reserve, said in his statement, is that it is likely that we could have some more what they call tightening, meaning increasing these interest rates, which affects any type of loans, any type of credit. These type of things are affected by the federal funds rate. So the higher that it goes up, all of those things are affected. So we're already starting to see a difference in the amount of homes that are up for sale because a lot of people were able to get in when the federal funds rate was a lot lower. As you can see in 2022, before they started these rate hikes, it was at 0.25%. So people were getting mortgages for 2 to 3%, and now they're upwards of 6 to 9%. So a lot of people feel that it doesn't make sense for them to try to sell their home and try to get into another home with such a big jump, in some cases 100% jump in interest rates. So we'll continue to keep you posted and keep an eye on what's going on with that. Another big piece of news that came out this past week is that Coinbase got a what they call a Wells notice from the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, and it warns Coinbase it's pursuing enforcement action over potential securities violations. Coinbase says that the SEC informed the company of plans to pursue an enforcement action against the exchange and its staking services, but very few details were offered. And many of us had known this given the Wells notice given to other exchanges as well regarding their earn programs, basically meaning anytime you put crypto into an exchange and you're looking to get basically like a dividend back, then that could be considered a security. So the SEC is now going after exchanges that do not have the proper registration to be able to sell securities. And we're still trying to understand what exactly is deemed a security in the cryptocurrency space, a security like what would be considered any of the stocks being traded on the New York Stock Exchange, for example. Those are all considered securities, and brokerages like a Charles Schwab or a Goldman Sachs or a Robinhood, any of Fidelity, any of those exchanges, they have the necessary registration to be able to sell as a securities broker dealer. So Coinbase disclosed the SEC alleged the U.S.-based company may be operating in violation of these securities laws in running of its exchange and staking services. The regulator targeted Coinbase with the Wells notice that informs the business that the agency is planning a future action that could include an injunction or cease and desist without specifying exactly what activity it found in violation. The company believes that these potential enforcement actions would relate to aspects of the company's spot market, the staking service, which is called Coinbase Earn, and Coinbase Prime, and Coinbase Wallet. So the notice is preliminary. So they're a warning. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to lead to an enforcement action, but it definitely is a strong possibility. And we know that Coinbase is staying on top of it and is preparing and has already said previously, the CEO, Brian Armstrong, has said that they would be ready to pursue any potential litigation or action related to this potential SEC enforcement, or I should say, lawsuit against the Coinbase exchange. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this piece of news as well. So we're going to go ahead and move forward to what's happening in the NFT space. Beeple, who is arguably the most famous digital artist in the NFT space, he had the record breaking $69 million NFT sale in 2021, and it really kicked off the NFT boom of 2021 going into 2022. He is based in South Carolina, and he just opened up what they call Beeple Studios. I believe it's over 13,000 square feet. They just had their grand opening a couple weeks ago, and in conjunction with Christie's, they had their grand opening featuring a bunch of artwork from various NFT artists, and they are now going to be opening up the gallery for obviously NFT exhibitions as well as other activations and events. So, this is a big piece of news in the NFT space as we're starting to see more museums and art studios embrace NFTs. And Beeple is definitely one of the faces of digital art, and so we know for sure that he will make sure that there are plenty of digital artists and creators that get their fair share of shine. And hopefully, there'll be plenty of interesting exhibits there. So if you do happen to make it to Charleston, South Carolina anytime soon, and you're interested in digital assets in the NFT space and just love anything creative, this may be a place that you want to check out. Another place that we'd like to highlight real quick is ImnotArt. They're the first physical NFT art gallery in the area of New York. And we'll just watch this video, just give you a quick little rundown of some of the things they have going on. Love that beat, by the way. So you can see they are trying to do a bunch of different things in the NFT art space. And of course, onboarding and education is extremely important. And we definitely advocate for and champion and support any NFT artists or galleries or curators that are trying to teach and onboard our communities, particularly of the African diaspora and beyond, about NFTs and this very interesting and burgeoning market. So they have their onboarding and education. So they have a bunch of different activities and events going on there at their physical space. You can see they're also pushing the physical and digital boundaries and the possibilities by hosting these events. They also are community celebrators, so they definitely do a lot of things in the Chicago community. One of their first exhibits showcased artists who were born and raised in the Chicago area. Currently, this is International Women's Month of March. So they have a current exhibit featuring a bunch of digital artists who are doing wonderful work that are women, not only in Chicago, but also around the world. And then they're also uplifting creators. They have gallery events, and they also have a voxelized, which is basically like another version of pixelized gallery that you can go to. And we'll just try to show it to you really quick. It may take a second to pop up. So as you can see, this is the metaverse type version of the I'm Not Art Museum, and there's a bunch of different places that you can go into and play around with using your computer, your trackpad, or your mouse pad. So you got to have a little bit of strength in your computer to kind of move around without without too many glitches. But definitely a work in progress, and this is definitely something that we're going to be seeing in the future, the not so distant future. So definitely look out for I'm Not Art and some of the other art galleries that are also going to be showcasing NFTs, not only in physical spaces like here in Chicago, but also in the metaverse as well. So if you can't make it to Chicago, you can't make it to Berlin, you can't make it to Cape Town, you definitely can make it using your internet connection. So we look forward to keeping you posted on all things NFT, particularly in diverse communities around the world. We look forward to keeping you posted, and we look forward to linking up with you soon on the network chain. In the meantime, take care. Bye bye.